and applying ghee, my ailment vanished. Again I began to work and read the books of the Goswamis.
Thank you. Oh, I see, it still hasn't finished. Okay. I just wanted to read, actually, because it's just mentioned about the Chaitanya Shikshamrita, which Bhaktivinoda Thakura wrote, and it's all Lord Chaitanya's instruction. I just wanted to read a little bit of nectar from that. This is by Bhanu Swami, translated. There are two types of liberated souls: eternally liberated, Nityamukta, and liberated from bondage, Baddhamukta. Those souls who never underwent material bondage and live eternally in the spiritual world are called eternally liberated. Their nature and activity is eternally sincere, selfless service to the Lord. They are the associates in the Lord's unlimited pastimes. When the Lord, by his inconceivable energy, appears in the material world, many of these liberated souls accompany him, but they never become conditioned. They return again with the Lord to the spiritual world. They are eternally perfect, eternal associates of the Lord, countless in number. The souls liberated from the material world act like the eternally liberated souls in all respects. Liberated from the material world, they understand everything about the material world. Thus, sometimes they come to the material world to preach about the Lord, giving mercy to the qualified souls, and in our case, unqualified souls. They wander about in their spiritual bodies and then return to the spiritual world. They are never bound by karma. The liberated jivas have purely spirit soul, identity, consciousness, mind, senses and body. They have thirst only for the spiritual world. Thirst for service to the Lord predominates. As they are in direct contact with the Lord, they are always engaged in various services according to their individual relation to the Lord and according to their individual qualities. Those with a taste for the majesty of the Lord engage as servants. Those with a taste for sweetness engage in friendly, paternal, or conjugal service. The souls, according to their inclination, take female or male forms. There is no need in the spiritual world for mating, raising children, or excreting waste products. Their love is nourished by spiritual food offered to the Lord. They are in constant association with other male and female forms for serving the Lord. There is no lamentation, fear, or death. There is no want of any sort. Time there is spiritual with no past or future. Everything is accomplished in present time. Memory is not necessary because the function of absolute knowledge is easily accomplished in the time present. Pure ego is the understanding that the soul is eternally the servant of Krishna. Bliss is eternally new and becomes deeper day by day. Satiation does not exist there. Bliss and thirst for Krishna are deep and uninterrupted. There are an infinite number of wonderful places arranged with different rasas suitable for service to the Lord. So that's from the Chaitanya Shikshamrita. It's really nice, huh? Did you want to read this bit?
In 1887, the Thakur travelled to many places in Bengal in search of the Chaitanya-upanishad, which is part of the Atharva Veda, but found only in very old manuscripts. Few people had ever heard of this work, which offered overwhelming evidence of Lord Chaitanya's identity as the Supreme Lord and Yuga Avatara, the Avatara for the present age of Kali. His endeavor was finally brought to the attention of Madhusudan Das, a Vaishnava Pandit who possessed an ancient manuscript of the Atharva Veda. The Pandit at once dispatched it to the Thakur from his place in Sambalapur. When the Vaishnava community learned of the Thakur's discovery, they immediately requested him to prepare a Sanskrit commentary. The Thakur agreed and produced Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhusudan Das assisted by writing a Bengali translation of the verses called Amrita Bindu. The Thakur was awarded the title Bhaktivinoda during this period of his colossal efforts in preaching and book publication. Shripad Acharya Kul wrote a letter to the Thakur in Sanskrit, awarding him the title, and the Thakur gratefully answered in the same. He comments, "The masters had given the title Bhaktivinoda to me, and this was also the desire of Mahaprabhu. The title Bhaktivinoda means the pastime or pleasure of devotional service, and taking either or both of these meanings as appropriate, it must be said that the Thakur was the embodiment of one who performs and takes pleasure in the pastimes of devotional service. The Thakur's statement that his being awarded such a title was the desire of Mahaprabhu should not be misunderstood. First of all, it clearly was Mahaprabhu's arrangement, as the scholars had not been requested by the Thakur that he be given any title. They were inspired to do it from within. What is more, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was pure and able to understand Lord Chaitanya's desire, and thus there is no element of speculation or pride in his declaration. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also began to propagate the Chaitanya Panjika, a Vaishnava almanac, and it was by his efforts that the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was made a respectfully observed and important fast day in the Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar. By lecturing to various societies in Calcutta and elsewhere, the Thakur was profusely distributing the seeds of bhakti. He published a detailed account of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life in the Hindu Herald, an English periodical which was widely read, and the article drew much favorable attention. Thus, along with his earlier title, Satchid Ananda, which was awarded after the publication of Satchid Ananda Premalankara, and together with his new title Bhaktivinoda, he was thenceforward known to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas as Satchid Ananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Is Gopal here? Is Gopal okay? Yeah. Face this way. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Edase Karuna O he Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori. O he Thakura, Doyara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori. Diyapada Chaya Shodhaye Maya. Diyapada Chaya Shodhaye Maya. Diyapada Chaya Shodhaye Maya. Diyapada Chaya Shodhaye Maya. Tomara charana dhori. Tomara charana dhori. Jaya bega domi, jaya dosha shodhi, jaya guna deho dase. Jaya bega domi, jaya dosha shodhi, jaya guna deho dase. Jaya bega domi, jaya dosha shodhi, jaya guna deho dase. Jaya bega domi, jaya dosha shodhi, jaya guna deho dase. Jaya satsanga deho e amare. Jaya satsanga deho e amare. Jaya satsanga deho e amare. Amare. Voshe chi sangera she. Voshe chi sangera she. Ekaki amara nahi paya bala. Hari nama sankirtane. 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 Tumi kripa kori Shraddha bindu diya. 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 Deho Krishna nama dhane. Deho Krishna nama dhane. Deho Krishna nama dhane. Deho Krishna nama dhane. कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आचे कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारी शक्ति कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आचे कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आचे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली 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 धाय तवा पाचे पाचे धाय तवा पाचे पाचे धाय तवा पाचे पाचे धाय तवा पाचे पाचे ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा दया रसागर दासे करुणा कोरी हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर दासे करुणा कोरी दिया पाद चाया शोधाय माया 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 तुम्हारा चरण धोरी तुम्हारा चरण धोरी O Vaishnav Thakura, O ocean of mercy, be merciful to me, your servant, and purify me by the shade of your lotus feet. Your feet I humbly hold.
Controlling my 6 urges and purifying me of the 6 faults, please give to your servant the 6 good qualities. Oh, give me the 6 kinds of holy association. I have sat down here in the hope of having your company.
Krishna is yours. You are able to give him to me, for such is your power. I am indeed wretched and simply run after you, crying, Krishna, Krishna. Right.
Page 58 in most of the books. Yashomati Nandana Rajabaranagara Okularanjana Gana Nandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madama Manohara Paranadana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidana Kaliyadamana Vidana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Dipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamshi Badana Subhasa Dipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamshi Badana Raja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana Raja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakhovala Nagodana Rakhovala Govinda Madhava Navina Natasakara Sundara Nanda Gopala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nattabara Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nattabara Vrindavana Nattabara Akati Vinoda Shraya Bhakati Vinoda Shraya Yashomati Nandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Brajabaranagara Gara Gokula Ranjana Kana Nana Braja Varana Gara Gokula Ranjana Kana. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokul, Kana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent.
During the Christmas break, the Thakur took a train to Navadvip with his wife. He writes, upon arriving there and surveying the land in all four directions, the hairs on my body stood on end. Proceeding to the Rani Dharmasala, the Thakur arranged for an offering to be cooked for Lord Chaitanya. He then took grains for the first time in many days and commented, since my birth I had not eaten such nectarian food. After this, the Thakur gradually regained his strength and began to come to Navadvip every Saturday to search out the site of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth. However, most of the local people had little interest in or actual knowledge of the holy sites of Navadvip, and the Thakur became a little discouraged. Most of the local inhabitants expressed the opinion that the site of Lord Chaitanya's birth was in Navadvip, but the Thakur was not convinced. Another theory was that the actual site had been lost under the shifting path of the Ganges. Still not satisfied, he continued to try to establish where the authentic birthplace was located. Every Saturday evening, the Thakur was sitting on the roof of the Rani Dharmasala in Navadvip with his third son Kamal Prasad and a friend who was a clerk. It was 10 o'clock and very dark. As the sky was covered with clouds, the Thakur gives his account. Across the Ganga in the northern direction, I saw a large mansion flooded with light. When I asked Kamal about this, he confirmed that he had seen it also. When I asked the clerk, he said, When I asked Kamal, he confirmed that he had seen it also. When I asked the clerk, he said, I didn't see anything. I was utterly amazed by that. When I looked carefully at that area in the morning, from the roof of Rani's house, I saw a tal tree located there. Inquiring from others about the place, they said it was known as Balaldiki, which was near the ruins of the old fort and kingdom of Lakshman Singh. Upon inquiring of various persons, the Thakur learnt that adjacent to that place was the large pond of King Balal Sen, from which the town got its name. And aside from that, there was nothing of importance. The following Saturday, he went to Balaldiki, where at night he again had a wonderful vision. He spent the next day wandering all over the site. The elderly locals told him that this was indeed the location of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth. They pointed out an extensive mound covered with tulsi plants as the actual site of his appearance. In order to substantiate his growing conviction, the Thakur began to conduct an investigation utilizing old manuscripts of the Chaitanya Bhagavat Bhakti Ratnakar and Narahari Saraka Thakur's Navadvip Parikram Padhati, as well as antique maps of the district. In particular, he found an old map from the time of Ganga Govinda Singh, who was the Naib Diwan of the Khalsa and founder of the Para Raj family, which flourished in the latter part of the 18th century. The name Sri Mayapur was found on the map to indicate the site of what became known as Baladiki. He ascertained a good deal about the different villages of the area from his research with the manuscripts and maps, and from the local villages as well. He found to his great astonishment that the town on the western banks of the Ganges, now called Navadvip, was actually a place of less than 100 years standing, and that there were still people living there who declared that in their youth they had moved to the new town from the old site at Baladiki. He also found that this town of Navadvip could not possibly be the site of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, because Lord Chaitanya had appeared on the eastern bank of the Ganges. Furthermore, the elderly villagers of Baladiki even called the area Mayapur. Then, while reading the Bhakti Ratnakara, the Thakur found the following verse which confirmed his discovery beyond a doubt. Navadvip madhye Mayapura name stan Yataya Janmilen Gaurachandra Bhagavan. In the center of Navadvip, there is a place called Mayapur. At this place, the Supreme Lord Gaurachandra took his birth. This monumental discovery took place toward the beginning of 1888, and it was a landmark event in the history of Vaishnavism. The site of the divine appearance of Lord Chaitanya, after being lost for several generations, was again revealed to the world by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Wishing to confirm it even more resoundingly, the Thakur later requested Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, the head of the Gaudiya Vaishnava community, to come to the site. The aged Babaji, who was more than 120 years old at the time, was so weak that he was carried everywhere in a basket by his disciple Bihari. Many curious persons accompanied him. He was so old that his eyelids completely covered his eyes, and they had to be propped open with his hand if he wanted to see someone. When he was brought to the spot discovered by the Thakur, he became overwhelmed with ecstasy and jumped into the air, crying, Eto Nimai Janma Bhumi. This is indeed the birthplace of Lord Nimai. Thus, by the additional and absolute confirmation of the Paramahamsa Babaji, the site was forever certified beyond doubt. Thus, from both an empirical and spiritual point of view, the place of Lord Chaitanya's birth was ascertained, just as Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami excavated the lost sites of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. The Thakur discovered the lost site of Gauranga's advent and other pastimes in Navadvip. This discovery led to his undertaking further research, and he eventually discovered many of the sites of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and described them in his book Sri Navadvip Dham Mahatmyam, which he wrote in Krishnanagar and published in 1890. After the discovery of the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura spent some time worshipping the Lord there. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son, Lalita Prasad, relates that one of the Thakur's sons was suffering from a skin disease, and that Srila Babaji Maharaj told him to lie down at the site of the Lord's birth. The boy did so, and he was cured by the next day. Later, when Jagannath Das Babaji returned to his place of bhajan at Kulia, he requested Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was eager to render some service to him, to build a solid covered veranda so that the Vaishnavas who came to see him would have a pleasant place to sit and chant. The Thakur immediately complied with that order, to his Guru's full satisfaction.
This chapter is titled Preaching the Holy Name. In August of 1891, the Thakur received approval for a 2-year furlough. Is that how you say it? Furlough? Furlough, thank you. He wanted to preach the glories of the holy name for the benefit of humanity. His base for this preaching effort was Godruma Dvip, which the Thakur dubbed the Namahatta, the marketplace of the holy name. He traveled with Sri Ram Shivak Chattopadhyaya Bhaktivinoda, his old friend, as well as Sri Sitanath Das Mahapatra and Sri Sital Britya. They chanted in many places, gave lectures, and made devotees. The Thakur describes this period with happiness. Quote, "At this time, in the month of Avin, Ram Sevek Babu, Sitanath, and Sital Britya all took a ship to Ramjivanpur for chanting and lectures. In many places in Ramjivanpur, we chanted and spoke, and we were very happy. From there we went to Kayapath Badanganya, where we lectured. In that place, all the devotees, brahmanas, and pandits were pleased. Having stayed 13 days in that area and concluding with a lecture program in Gatal, we returned. We performed Nama Sankirtan everywhere. After coming to my house in Kolkata, I proceeded to Surabhi Kunj, and we performed a great deal of Sankirtan there too." End quote. In his lifetime, the Thakur established over 500 Namhat Sanghas, and in his original Namhat essay entitled Shri Shri Godruma Palvati, he describes the structure of the Namhat. The spirit of his endeavor exactly matched the mood of Lord Nityananda, who was personally ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach in Bengal. Lord Chaitanya directed him as thus: "Shuno Shuno Nityananda Shuno Haridas Sarvatra Amara Agya Karoha Prakash Prati Gare Gare Gya Koro E Bikash Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna Koro Krishna Shikshasha." Oh, hear me Nityananda, hear me Haridas. Simply disseminate my order everywhere, go from house to house and beg the residents as follows: speak about Krishna, worship Krishna, and teach others about Krishna. That's from Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila 13.8-9. In his Namhat essay, the Thakur always describes himself as the sweeper of the marketplace of the holy name. In that marketplace, in Godruma Dvip, the storehouse is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the principal trader is Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The co-principal trader is in Bengal is Sri Advaita Prabhu. In Vrindavan, Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. In Jagannath Puri, Sri Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. The storekeepers in Bengal are Sri Gadadhara Pandit, Srimati Vishnupriya, and Srimati Janava Thakurani. In Vrindavan, Raghunath Das Goswami. In Jagannath Puri, Sri Paramananda Puri. Following this explanation is the description of the transcendental currency of the market. The various levels of devotion are compared to paisa, the smallest denomination, and annas. An anna equals about 6 paisa, and to silver coins and prema, pure love of God, to the most valuable denomination, the gold coin. The qualifications for membership are also specified, techniques for chanting are detailed, etc. The Thakur then proceeds to describe some of the preaching pastimes of his party of friends. Quote, 5th Asvin Chaitanyabda 406, Monday the Namhat sweeper, assistant, and flag bearer, meaning Thakura Bhaktivinoda, Bhakti Bringa, Mahasaya, and Sitanath, arrived in the town of Gatal, Mindapur district after dark. The devotees escorted the Namhat employees with Sankirtan to the Hari Sabdha. More than 1,000 devotees of the Nam assembled and engaged in massive Sankirtan. The next day at sunrise, along with all the devotees of Ramjivanpur, they performed blissful kirtan and inspected the activities of the Namhat in the Prapanashram preaching center of Sri Yuta Kunjabihari Paina. More than 1,000 devotees assembled, loudly chanting the name of Hari. The Namhat commander for that area, Sri Yuta Umacharana Vidyaratna, warmly welcomed the sweeper Bhaktivinoda, his assistant Bhakti Bringa, the devotee Sitanath, and the assembled Namhat devotees. The sweeper Bhaktivinoda gave a lecture on the glories of the holy name. The captivating lecture and Vaishnava songs, personally composed, filled the assembled devotees with prema. Traveling salesman Sri Yuta Ram Das Babaji and Sri Yuta Darachandra Tarkalankara satisfied the assembly with sweet lectures. The assembly dispersed 3 hours after darkness had fallen with loud chanting of Hari and pure Nam Sankirtan. This means the assembly engaged in chanting and hearing all day and into the night. Quote, 7th Asvin at daybreak, street Sankirtan went out with great gathering of Ram Jivanpur villages. The special decorations and mandaps, raised platforms in front of the houses were a wonderful sight to see. Thereafter, the Sankirtan party went on the main road, and coming from their homes, the devotees were chanting the name of Hari in great devotion. At one mandap, the traveling salesmen, Sri Yuta Ramdas Babaji and Sri Yuta Darachandra Tarkalankara and Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained the glories and the truth of the name, while from all 4 sides, the village womenfolk raised their voices in ululation. In some places, the school children, breaking loose from their teacher's care and crying Haribol, ran towards the Sankirtan party. The devotees were feeling mutual bliss. The minds of everyone present were captured by this enchanting scene. 8th Asvin, in the massive gathering of Ramjipur, all the Namhat employees did Nam Sankirtan from house to house. At the houses of Sri Yuta Umesh Chandra Modak, Sri Yuta Ananta Gayan, Sri Yuta Ramachandata, Sri Yuta Srinivas Rauth, and Sri Yuta Ramkalpa Rauth, a great multitude of people received the message of Mahaprabhu. Finally, at the Natya Shala theatre of Sri Parvatinath Mahadev, nearly 2,500 persons came together, where the commander glorified Mahaprabhu from the Vedas and the Puranas. And that time of pure devotional preaching, the sweeper Bhaktivinoda showed the uselessness of the impersonal philosophy. Later, at the Prapanashram of storekeeper Sri Yuta Yadunath Pal and the Rasika Mandali performed kirtan. 9th Asvin of the Namahat workers gathered at Hatipur Devakand, where nearly 3,000 people assembled at the Natyashal of Jagajani Bhadrakali. The traveling salesman of that place, Sri Yuta Keshava Chandra Chakravati, had made many arrangements with gates and mandaps. The villagers took the Namhat workers with great enthusiasm from the bank of the river to the pandal. Along the way, village women, filled with ecstasy, were ululating, an ancient practice which is supposed to generate auspiciousness and lauds heroic enterprises. Those present will not forget the enchanting scene. At the time, everyone lost material consciousness, submerged in the ocean of Krishna Prem. After all the devotees were properly seated on the mandap, the following song was sung. Nityananda has come to the marketplace of the name. Whoever is coming, run quickly. Those 2 rascals, Jagai and Madai, have looted the storehouse and taken all the goods. You will find the partners Advaita and Sanatan, who Sanatan are the storehouse managers. Gadadhara Pandita is the guard. Haridas is the watchman. Sanjaya and Sridhara are the bearers. Keshava Bharati and Vidya Vashapati are brokers, and Krishnadas and others are managers. Srivas Pandit is the treasurer, and Kedaranath is the sweeper. The cost of the goods in the store are the 9 kinds of devotional service. The gold coin is prema. There is no limit. With whatever you have got, buy what you can. There is no shortage. Brothers, take as much of the goods as you can. For obtaining love of God, this is the best advice. The message is the nectarian name of the Lord. So let there be no useless strife. Let everyone, whoever he may be, share the same plate. 12th Ashvin Namhata workers assembled at Bhakti Nidhi's Vanganj Prapana Ashram in the morning. Later, at Koyapat Bazaar, nearly 4,000 people came to see the Namhat workers. The first few minutes were spent in getting the people to be quiet. Bhakti Nidhi's lecture was followed by a lecture of Bhaktivinoda on the verse Vadante Tattva Vidas Tattvam from Srimad Bhagavatam. With this verse, he destroyed the impersonalist philosophy and established the truth of pure devotion to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. During all of these lectures, the listeners' hearts were filled with devotional ecstasy, exhibited by frequent applause and crying of Hari with love-filled enthusiasm. In these wonderful excerpts, we catch a glimpse of the jubilant preaching exploits of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. His activities immediately invoke the original preaching mood of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, on account of which huge crowds widely chanted the holy name in ecstasy. Aforementioned crowds were getting the same opportunity by the pure association and presentation of the eternally liberated associate of Lord Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. We may also recall how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur brought the holy name to thousands, following in the saintly footsteps of his father. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in his turn, held huge gatherings in Delhi, Calcutta, and Bombay, and Ratha Yatra, celebrations attended by thousands in the West, simply to continue the disciplic succession of ecstatic distribution of the holy name, following in the footsteps of his most exalted predecessors. In February of 1892, the Thakur was invited to speak in Krishna Nagar before a large congregation of highly learned men from various parts of Bengal. He gave a lecture concerning his investigation and research into the genuine site of Lord Chaitanya's birth. After hearing his powerful presentation, the members of the assembly, who were overwhelmingly impressed with the Thakur's work, pledged their help by agreeing to join the society organized by the Thakur for the restoration, maintenance, and development of Old Navadvip at Sri Mayapur, called Sri Navadvip Dham Pracharini Sabda. The Thakur made the ruling princes of Tipera, the society's hereditary presidents. Europeans were also present at the meeting, and the Thakur recalls the names Munro, Wallace, and Butler. The Thakur also lectured to other societies and assemblies in the Krishna Nagar area. In March of 1892, accompanied by his Vaishnava friends, the Thakur made a lecture tour of the Basirhat subdivision, located in the northeastern part of West Bengal's Kabisa Pargat district. He was preaching, chanting, and writing constantly during this period. His influence was tremendous. He opened a good number of branches of Namhat, and everywhere people began to take up the chanting of the holy name. This program was so successful and popular that even after Thakur ceased his participation due to the call of government duties, it continued for many years. After the Basirhat tour, the Thakur took his friend Bhakti Bringa Mahashaya with him for a tour of Vrindavan. On the way, they spent the fast day Ekadashi with Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. The Thakur reached Vrindavan in great ecstasy and undertook a full tour of the Dham, visiting Bilvavana, Bandir Ravana, Manasa Sarova, Gokula, Madhuvana, Talavan, Bahulavan, Govardhan, Radhakund, Shamakund. In short, all the places of Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Upon returning to his Bhakti Bhavan in Calcutta, he continued his preaching activities, giving lectures and readings about the glories of the holy name. Sometimes he was in Godruma, sometimes in Calcutta, and sometimes in Krishnanagar.
So we're going to do a bhajan, which actually Srila Prabhupada has in the purport of the 6th canto, chapter 5, text 22. It's so important that he's actually got all the words for this bhajan, and I think there's no other bhajan like in the Srimad Bhagavatam that I've come across. So it's important, and it's written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. And please excuse, I've had a chest infection. I can't sing properly, but... Narada Muni Bhajai Mina Radhika Ramana Name Jai Vina Radhika Ramana Namamani Udita Hoy Bhakata Gita Same Namamani Udita Hoy Bhakata Gita Same Narada Muni Bhajai Vinarayaka Ramana Name. Amiyadhara Bharishakana Shravana Yugale Gaya Bhakata Jana Sagane Nache Boriya Apanahiya Madhuri Pura Ashavapashi Mataya Jagate Jane Keho Vakande Keho Venache Keho Mate Mane Mane Narada Muni Bhajai Vinarayaka Ramana Name Panchavarana Naredi Dhore Prema Sagana Ro Kamalasana Nachiye Bole Bolo Bole Hari Bolo Sahasranana Paramasuke Hari Hari Boli Gai Nama Prabhave Matilo Vishpa Nama Rasa Sabipaya Narada Muni Bhajai Vinarayaka Ramana Name. Shri Krishna Nama Rasane Spuri Puralo Amarasha. Shri Rupa Padeyachaya Iha Bhaktivinoda Das. Narada Muni Bhajai Vina Radhika Ramana Name. Narada Muni Bhajai Vina Radhika Ramana Name. When the great soul Narad Muni plays his stringed veena, the holy name of Radhika Ramana descends and immediately appears amidst the kirtan of the Lord's devotees.
So now we're going to sing the bhajan Vibha Varishesha. Vibha Varishesha Aloka Pravisha Nitrachari Uto Jiva. Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. Nishrimhavamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendrana Nana Shama. Bhutana Ghatana Kaita Bashatana Jaya Dasharati Rama. Yadulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhikara Mana Bhuvana Sundara Bara Ravanantakara Makanataskara Gopi Jana Vasrahari Brajarara Kala Gopa Vrindapala Shita Hari Vamsidhari Yogendra Bandana Shri Nandanandana Prajajana Bhayahari Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohani Vamsi Vihari Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Vamsi Vihari Yashodanandana Kamsani Sudana Nikunjara Savilasi Sudana Nikunjara Savilasi Karambakanana Rasa Parayana Vrinda Vipina Vinivasi Anandavadhana Premaniketana Pulashara Joka Kama Gopan Kanagana Chita Vinodana Samasta Gunagana Dhama Chita Vinodana Samasta Gunagana Dhama Jamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Nama Sudara Saga Krishna Jashara Kovachana Manamora Bhavare Shesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chari Uto Jiva night has come to an end, and the light of dawn is entering. O Jiva's soul, arise and give up your sleep. Chant the holy names of Lord Hari, who is the giver of liberation, the enemy of the Mura demon, the supreme enjoyer, the all-attractive one, and the horse-headed incarnation Hayagriva.
Lord Hari Krishna incarnated as a half man, half lion, Nrsimha. He appeared as a dwarf, Brahman, and Indra, and as a pillar of Navadvip. He is the beloved son of the king of Raja, Nanda Maharaj, and Lakish. He is the slayer of Utana, and destroyed in Raghav. All glory to Lord Hari, who appeared as Lord Ram, the son of King Gadadhara.
Jai. So we're going to be reading Acceptance. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Haribol. So we're reading chapter Acceptance of Babaji Vesha. Sundarananda Vidyavinod has described how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura gave up household life and accepted initiation into the renounced order from Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. One day in 1908, the Thakur followed the Babaji as he went from the Thakur's house in Godram Dvip to the boat cart, where he would cross the Ganges and go to Navadvip. As he followed him, the Thakur repeatedly asked him to give him initiation into the renounced order of life as a Babaji. Gorkishore Das Babaji felt that he was very fallen and unqualified, seeing the Thakur as his spiritual master, and thus, with great humility, he refused to become the Thakur's Vesha Guru. Soon after this, the Babaji, by mystic intuition, could understand that the Thakur was very determined and was coming to Navadvip to ask him again. In order to avoid him, the elderly Babaji went to the house of a prostitute near a marketplace in Navadvip and sat on her veranda for a while. He reasoned that if he had gone anywhere else, including the Ganges, he would have been discovered by the Thakur, but he would never be found in the house of a prostitute, for the Thakur would never enter such a place. Meanwhile, the Thakur, not finding Babaji Maharaj, could understand his uneasiness, and so he returned to Godram. Babaji Maharaj then came out of hiding and went to the Radha Raman gardens, where he began to laugh uproariously. When questioned by a devotee who was present as to why he was laughing so much, he replied, "Today I have outwitted Kedarnath Babu. I sat in that Mataji's house over there, and not being able to find me, Kedarnath Babu returned home." End of quote. A few days later, the Thakur sent one of his sons to Navadvip to bring Babaji Maharaj to Svanananda Shukada Kunj. The Babaji agreed to come, and after a few days' stay, he consented to initiate the Thakur as a Babaji. According to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj's direction, the Thakur, in his presence, put on the old loincloth and bahivasa, or begging apron, of Srila Jagnath Das Babaji, his Shiksha Guru, who had departed from the world some years earlier. By his verbal consent and his physical presence as a witness, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj became the Vaishya Guru of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura followed the example of Sri Sanatana Goswami, who took the renounced order of life in the presence and with the consent of Lord Chaitanya by putting on the old white cloth of Tapan Misra. In this way, everything was done wonderfully, following the historical Gaudiya Vaishnav precedent. After this, the Thakur continued his chanting and writing, sometimes living in Godrindvip and sometimes in Calcutta at the Bhakti Bhavan. And reading another chapter here, Last Days. After taking to the renounced order of life, the Thakur accepted some disciples, and one of them, Krishna Das Babaji, continued to serve him as he had in Jagannath Puri. Feeling a strong desire to be fully absorbed in the spiritual plane, the Thakur shut himself up in Bhakti Bhavan in the year 1910, so that he could remain uninterruptedly engaged in the divine service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Feigning paralysis before the eyes of common people, he entered into a state of total samadhi, spiritual trance. On June 23, 1914, the sun began its southern course. It was the same day that Gadadhara Pandita, the incarnation of Srimati Radharani, had left the world some 450 years before. Precisely at noon, the Thakur entered the eternal pastimes of the Lord, far beyond the vision of the conditioned souls of this world. The Thakur's Samadhi ceremony was delayed until the sun began its northern course. At that time, his last remains, his ashes, were taken from the Bhakti Bhavan and brought to his home in Godrindvip. There they were placed in a silver urn and buried in the midst of a huge kirtan and festival held in his honour by his disciples and friends. Hundreds took part, and his direct presence was experienced by everyone. Truly, the Thakur's great stanza, composed in glorification of Srila Haridas Thakur, applies to him. He reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die. When thou art living still in sound, the Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread a holy life around. Hare Krishna.
The Thakur's biographers have summarized his life and accomplishments in various ways, each of them exhibiting keen appreciations of various aspects of the character and accomplishments of this Mahabhagavata, our beloved Acharya. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, gives a summary appreciation of the Thakur in the transcript of a lecture given, according to the text itself, on Gaur Purnima in 1969. It was a desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakura to spread the life and precepts of Lord Chaitanya in the Western countries. So with this in view, the publishing of the book Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and Precepts, he sent copies to various universities, libraries, and one of the copies was found in McGill University, Montreal. After 72 years, this book was found in the library by one of our students and was brought to me. From a materialistic point of view, I was born in a different family, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur belonged to a different family. And my spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, happened to be the fifth son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Although at home, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was actually the spiritual master of my spiritual master, still, he recommended Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur when he was a young man, about 18 years old, that you go to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and become initiated by him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was magistrate, and my Guru Maharaj belonged to a very respectable family. So he narrated the story before us. When he was recommended to be initiated by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, this Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to respect Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his guide. Therefore, we take it in our disciplic succession that Bhaktivinoda Thakur guided Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj initiated my spiritual master. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is accepted as the spiritual master of the spiritual master of my spiritual master. He is the fourth generation grand man spiritual master. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, which Bhaktivinoda desired in 1896, and somehow or other, coincidentally, I do not know what was his desire. I was also born in that year. And by Krishna's desire, I came to the disciplic succession to Saraswati Thakur, and he asked me to go to the Western countries and preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. The spiritual line of understanding is different from the materialistic point of view. The idea is that I was born in a different family and that Guru Maharaj was born in a different family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was at the time a magistrate, a government servant. By Lord Chaitanya's desire, we have come in the same line of disciplic succession. What was taught by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1896, that these teachings of Lord Chaitanya should be spread in the Western countries. By chance or coincidence, it is now happening. We should take it for granted that whatever is happening at the present moment by my humble endeavor is all the grace of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Therefore, on this auspicious ceremony of Lord Chaitanya's appearance day, it will be greatly beneficial for us to hear from Bhaktivinoda Thakur what he wrote 72 years before, and after 72 years, being a humble servant in that line, I am trying to distribute his teachings. There is a spiritual coincidence, and we should take advantage of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. Practically, this Chaitanya movement was, of course, Lord Chaitanya inaugurated this movement 500 years ago. And after that, so many pseudo-Chaitanyites depreciated the whole thing. But the Chaitanya movement, in its pure form, as it is, was restarted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We should take it that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the origin of the Krishna consciousness movement in its pure form. Bhaktivinoda wrote almost 100 books. Just imagine, he was a very responsible officer, a magistrate, and he was a grihasta. He also had many children. Altogether he had 10 children, and he had to take care of children, the office of magistrate, and extra religious work. He was made superintendent of the temple of Jagannath. Because the government knew that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very highly advanced religious person, whenever there was some religious question, he was consulted. In spite of all his responsibilities as officer or as a family man with so many children, he executed his family life very nicely, or else he could not have produced a child such as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. At the same time, he served the Supreme Lord in so many ways. That is the beauty. He has written so many books, and in spite of cumbersome duties, that is the beauty of his life. He would come from the office in the evening and take his meals and go to bed. That was his program. He'd sleep from 8 to 12 at night, 4 hours, then get up and write books until morning. That was his program. In this way, he wrote hundreds of books, some published, some in the course of being published. All this became possible because he was a sincere, faithful servant. To write so many books with so many responsibilities, for an ordinary magistrate it is not possible. But because he was sincere, He got the strength from the Supreme Lord. One does not need to seek strength separate from the Supreme Lord, but if you are sincere, the Supreme Lord will give you sufficient strength. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought my Guru Maharaj to this world to be his son. He prayed to Lord Chaitanya that your preaching and teachings have been so much depreciated, it is not in my power to correct them. He prayed to Lord Chaitanya, and after his prayer, Lord Chaitanya sent my Guru Maharaj as his son, and he took up the matter very seriously. This delightful summary of the Thakur's life by Srila Prabhupada certifies that a very important point for our understanding, that the pure cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been lost for all practical purposes, and that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur re-established the whole thing almost single-handedly. He also points out that the desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that the Krishna consciousness movement would spread all over the world. He thus credits the desire of the Thakur and Lord Chaitanya as resulting in the appearance of Srila Saraswati Thakur, and Prabhupada's own subsequent linking with the line of disciplic succession. Thus, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is a result of the desire and grace of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. As substantiated by Srila Prabhupada in the above statements, Prabhupada also puts special stress on how the Thakur was given empowerment or strength by the Lord to write transcendental literatures for the benefit of the world. We see how Srila Prabhupada also followed wonderfully in this line, executing the austerities of early rising in the composition of transcendental literature. He poignantly states with respect to the Thakur's literary accomplishments that he accomplished so much despite cumbersome duties, and that he was the beauty of his life. And that was the beauty of his life, sorry. God.
Thank you, everybody, for participating. It was very nice. And now we're going to have the Pushpanjali prayers. And at the end, we'll throw 3 times our flowers for Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's pleasure.
Om Agnatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Dina Tajmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvahutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschutade Zatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Sri Vashabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripa Bhadyaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryodvala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Sri Muttaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virubhashidhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gora Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Motaye Vipralamba Rasambodhe Padham Vujjaya Te Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodhaya Satchidananda Namine Gora Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gora Vibhava Bhumeshtvam Nideshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Paradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Twise Namaha Panchatattva Makam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Varataram Bhaktakyam Namani Bhakta Saktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radhakanta Namostute, Jayatam Surato Pango, Mama Manda Mate Gati, Matsarvavasha Padam Bhojo, Radha Madana Mohano, Divya Vrindarayanya, Kalpadrumadaha, Srimad Ratnagara, Shimashanashto, Srimad Radha Srila Govinda, Devo Prishtalivi, Sevyamano Smaramami, Shriman Rasarambi, Vamsivata Tatashtitaha, Kashan Venu Swayane, Gopi Gopinatha Shriyeshturaha, Tapta Kanachana Gourangi, Radhe Vrindavanishwari, Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine, Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, Rupanuga Varayate, Swaha, Esha Pushpanjali Swaha. Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, Rupanuga Varayate, Esha Pushpanjali Swaha. Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, Rupanuga Varayate, Esha Pushpanjali Ki Jai.
Samsara dava nalaleda loka tvanaya karunya ganaganatam. Samsara dava nalaleda loka tvanaya karunya. Pratasya kalyana gunanavasya vande guru Sri Charanaravindaam. Pratasya kalyana gunanavasya vande guru Sri Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasora Sena. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Ramancha Kampa Srutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Ramasya Kampa Sutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Sri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Singara Tanandira Majjanado Sri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Singara Tanandira Majjanado Yuktasya Bhaktam Tanayanjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Yuktasya Bhaktam Tanayanjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Chatu Vidha Sri Bhagavat Prasado Swadhanna Chiptan Hari Bhakta Sangham Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Sri Radhika Madhavayora Para Madhuya Lila Gunarupa Nam Nam Pratikshana Swadhana Lolopasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Kunjayuna Ratikali Siddhyai Yayali Biyuktira Pekshaniya Tatrati Daksha Dhani Bhalabhasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Sakshadharitvena samasta shastra uktasta bhavyata eva sadbhi Kinsu prabhuya priya eva tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam Kintu prabhuya priya eva tasya Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya prasadan nagakikutopi Dhayam Suvam Sasyaya Sastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam 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 Jaya Bhakti Vina Jaya Bhakti Vina Jaya Bhakti Vina Jaya Bhakti Vina Jaya Bhaktivinoda Jaya Bhaktivinoda Jaya Bhaktivinoda Jaya Bhaktivinoda Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desa Tarine Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Govardhari, Radha Govardhari Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govardhari, Radha Govardhari Sri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Jai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Astotara Satasi Srimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Astotara Satasi Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita. Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda. Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Mathuradam ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Shri Jamuna Mai ki jai. Shri Ganga Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Samveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glory is to the Sangha devotees. All glory is to the Sangha devotees. All glory is to the Sangha devotees. Glory is to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Dayane. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shilat Sankana Kalaye Itona Shinga Paratana Shinga Yata Yata Yamita Tana Shinga Shinga Hridayana Shinga Narashinga Madhim Saranam Prapade Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Ke Savadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Ke Savadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nrsingadev Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.